Good morning, Miss Becky. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad to have you with us, and thanks for calling in this morning. By phone, we also have our Lieutenant Governor. Always happy to talk to her. And usually, when we talk, it's usually sunshine and flowers and wonderful. But today, it's a little bit of a different story. You have Suzanne Crouch. Good morning, Suzanne.
Good morning, Becky and Lori. It's good to be with you, although we're all warm and cozy, and it's not so warm and cozy outside, is it?
No, not at all. And I do want to give some weather updates. Our county went red, which is the advisory is to make sure that you are not out on the road. And I know that I've had a lot of people that's asked about as far as making sure if they do not attend work today, that is something that they need to call their work or call their employers and find out, because I know right now they're encouraging everyone to stay off the roads. And if I wasn't an essential, or if I did not want to make sure that the community knew all this, I wouldn't be here either this morning.
Yeah, well, I'd say you're pretty essential right now to keep everyone up to date on the road conditions and the weather conditions. And, what we don't want is people unnecessarily out endangering themselves.
Absolutely. And we do know that most places actually have been closed. So with that, and they've closed not only because of their employees, but also encouraging others to stay in and not get out. We do have some emergency places that are open. If there was an emergency, I do want to say Walmart is, they are open, but they are actually very low staff because, for their employees. But they felt like, I talked with the manager, Mike King, and he wanted to make sure that if our community had an emergency, and you never know with health needs or something, that he felt like that it was important to have an opening. But he also wanted to encourage everyone, please just don't come just to be coming, to walk around.
Well, tell me, Becky, how are the road conditions? I'm actually in Evansville. But how are the road conditions there in Salem?
Well, they're actually pretty bad. We actually, there was an accident a little earlier with a semi, and our city and our county police were handling it as of right now. But we've had some going off the road, some just doing some sliding, but right now most of the roads actually do not have very many on it. So they have been listing our commissioners last night, actually around 9 o'clock or so, maybe, signed in to order and took us red, our county red, which I'll read what red means for anyone maybe that did not read that. I put it up on my website and my social media too, but I want to make sure everybody understands that red is something that we really take serious and want to make sure that we are, let me make sure, let me get it pulled up here, sorry. Okay, here we go. For red, the Washington County Commissioners just signed emergency restrictions declaring a red travel advisory, which is a state of emergency in the highest level on local travel advisory, which means travel may be restricted to emergency management workers during a warning. Local travel advisory individuals are directed. So what you're supposed to do is refrain from all travel. Number 2, comply with all the necessary emergency measures, and public officials and disaster services forces are trying to make sure that they enforce that, obey and comply with the lawful directions for proper identified officers. So they're trying to make sure that everyone stays off the roads for only emergencies or, in that case.
And how many inches of snow did you get, Becky?
Probably about 3. Maybe about 3 inches in different parts of the county. We do have a lot of ice. There's been a lot of ice, and of course, our city, county, and state have all been out, doing the best. The trucks are out, but of course, that's a lot to keep up with. And of course, when you're talking ice, it's hard to I guess battle that for sure.
Mm-hmm, yes, it just makes clear. Well, now we're getting plummeting low temperatures on top of it, so it makes it even more challenging. I know that yesterday morning, of course, I'm in Evansville, my hometown, and yesterday morning I went down to the Circle K, and they donated donuts and muffins and cookies for the NDOT workers, and I took them up to the NDOT station up on 41 North, and the roads were not great, but to your point, Becky, there was not a lot of traffic out. And I haven't been out since then. And of course, here in Vanderburgh County, they're also encouraging people to stay off the roads. And as a result, there's not much traffic out. But, it's wintertime. Yeah. This is what we get sometimes in Indiana in winter. We haven't had it for a while. But, the best thing people can do is be careful, stay at home. And if you have to get out, use extreme caution and let someone know where you're going and what time to expect you in case something happens.
Right. And I'm so glad you brought that up because locally, our McDonald's, they did close at 2:00 to get everyone home safe yesterday. But they fed any city, county, or state workers on the road. They could come and they would give them a meal for free. So that was
wonderful.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. And of course, we have got so many great people in our community, and a lot of the employers were like to the employees, go home, and so a lot of things are not open. So really, there's no reason to be out, and stay home and enjoy the weather. It is beautiful for sure, no doubt. And Suzanne, Laura, I was kind of hoping for this at Christmas, I must say.
I know.
Well, we're just getting a light February, beginning of February, a light February.
But we do have we've got some great crews out there doing a great job. So of course, and it's been a blessing because actually our national weather, service, I've been on several calls. They've been having them even at 9:30 at night, and they have been spot on. We have come such a long way in weather. Years ago, you did not know. And they predicted this, and this is exactly, they can drop the mic because they were right on point on their predictions as far as what we were getting and how much, and kind of help get people a little prepared. And we had Suzanne, in our community, we had a beautiful day. I think it was last Wednesday. And that was the time we told everybody to get all your milk, bread, and toilet paper.
Well, and if you went to the store the last couple of days, the shelves were bare. My husband went to the store. He said there wasn't a potato or onion in the store.
Well, I think they were having a little trouble getting some trucks in, but hopefully, that's something that's near and dear to our heart in this state is potatoes. So, we don't mess with those, do we?
Well, no, and of course, agriculture. I'm Secretary of Agriculture and Rural Development, and we know that ag is very big in Washington County and in your area, and our farmers have really stepped up in times of emergency COVID and other times where they stepped up and ensure that we have the food that we need on our shelves and on our tables. But because of, worker shortages and delivery, the shortages, we're finding some items not at the store that we look for.
This is so true. And I'm glad that you brought them up too, because hats off to all of them. And I hope that they're listening and starting their morning off with us, because we need to give a shout out. They're out there and they are, breaking that ice for the water for their livestock, making sure that there's plenty of, hay, and making sure there's plenty of grain and shelter. So hats off to them and all that they're doing. And I think sometimes, we maybe don't realize that and how cold it is and what they're doing out there for us.
That's right, because they can't stay in and not go out. They have to take care of their livestock, and their livestock depend on them, and they don't get a day off.
No, definitely not. So I'm so glad that you mentioned them for sure. And we do love our agricultural, and I know, as far as all that our community does and the community surrounding us is huge part of agriculture. But let's do a little bit warmth. We've talked a lot about cold and 4-H. You're also you've been doing some stuff with 4-H too.
Absolutely. The 4-H young men and women were at the State House this past week, and they had a day at the State House where they got to hear from late leaders in the General Assembly. I was able to speak to them, and a couple things. It's interesting. They are over 100 years old, and they are the largest youth leadership development organization in the country. So 4-H really prepares our young men and women for leadership, not just in ag communities, but in the communities that they live. And it was wonderful to see all those young 4-Hers at the State House. And I told them when I spoke to them that I felt that our future was in good hands because we had young people that were engaged in the process and wanted to be a part. And, quite honestly, that's what makes it all happen. People have got to be active. They have to participate in their communities.
Yeah.
They have to, be engaged. And that's what makes a strong community. So it was a fun day, and I know that they had a fun time while they were at the State House.
Had very many of them, had any of them been?
4-H, Becky?
I'm sorry? Oh, I was definitely a 4-H. My mom was a 4-H leader years ago. And yes, I can say that I remember, and I have told this story often, I remember the thing I did not like about it was I didn't want to do my paperwork, okay? And I remember my mom looking at me and saying, you'll never have a job that you won't have to do some paperwork, So, and it's funny because I didn't, take that. I kind of like, oh yeah. Or, it didn't really sink in. And then now, of course, paperwork's all around. And of course, but it did prepare me for so many things. And I can go back and I can relate things that like maybe in my everyday life now that I can contribute to 4-H. And I did, I was one of those that took a little bit of everything because I like to see. And I learned early on that biscuits were not my strong point. So yes, I have a lot to say about 4-H, and of course I had sheep and had horses, and so of course I love all of that 4-H does.
What was your favorite project, Becky?
So for anything though, I always tried though.
Did you, Laura? You were a 4-Her too?
Yes, yeah.
Definitely, yes.
I sewed 10 years.
Yeah, well, I would have to say my number one was, of course, showing horses. I love the horse part of it, and of course, I enjoyed the challenges and learning how to make a poster and learning, how you can design a poster. There was so much involved in that at the time was just kind of like okay. And then I also learned that when they have instructions, you follow those instructions, and I thought that was a huge life lesson. And you can't just do it your way. You have to do it however the judges want it and what their restrictions are.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Becky, that's always been my challenge is following directions.
I struggle.
I'm not sure how I would do, but really, 4-H and Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, any of these youth organizations, they really teach us as young people how to. What we're capable of, and how to depend upon ourselves and how to, learn how to do things and seek help from, experts and adults. I mean, it's a great leadership organization. And I think that when people think of 4-H, they think, well, it's agriculture. Well, yes, it is, but it's also about youth development and it's about leadership and developing leadership. And I think that is how we prepare our young people for the future.
I agree. So what was their thought? Had some of them been to the State House before, or was this their first trip?
I would say it was most of them their first trip to the State House.
What did they think? I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. What did they think?
Well, you could tell that they were kind of in awe of the beauty of the State House, but also hearing from people that they read about in the paper, that they've heard about, but now to be able to meet them and hear them in person, I think it was a great life experience for them. And, the most important thing is it exposed them to our legislative process. And I think that is probably the biggest benefit that they got, is they were able to observe the House and the Senate in session. We were in session in the Senate, and of course, as president of the Senate, I'm conducting the Senate, and we had 4-Hers out in the gallery watching the event and watching how bills are passed. And I just think that's an incredible experience for them, and it's unfortunate that every child can't have that in-person experience.
But I do think it's so interesting, and we learn about it in school, and our schools do a great job teaching us. But when you see it and you see the process, it's a whole nother life lesson for sure.
Absolutely. And Becky, are you drinking coffee this morning?
I am. You know that.
I'm having a cup of decaf coffee with vanilla creamer in it.
I am full throttle, all black, strong as can be. It probably could walk on itself. It probably coffee. Laura, what are you having this morning?
I'm having some coffee with cream and sweet and low.
Yeah.
Well, we're all getting charged for the day.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, and probably, Lieutenant Governor, probably you're doing the best, because that's what they have suggested, that I switch to that, but I just can't find time to do that.
Oh, what you are used to. I am so wired naturally that I just stay away from caffeine, and I used to drink caffeinated coffee, and when I switched to decaf, I thought I could tell a difference, but today, a cup of coffee is a cup of coffee.
Absolutely. Well, and it's warm. It feels good, and definitely warms you up on a cold day. And our temperatures too are very, very cold outside. And let me look to see what exactly it is right now. But so in Evansville, how were you guys affected down there?
We ended up, it sounds like we got exactly what you got. I'm going to say we probably got between 3 and 4 inches, but it sleeted for the longest time. And then yesterday it turned to snow, but now this morning I was out and there's a little bit of sleet again. So not optimal conditions. I think the high today is going to be 27, and then of course it'll get down to 8 degrees tonight.
Yeah.
So, that's not good for clearing the roads either.
No, not at all. Well, we are currently right now 19 degrees. We are still snowing here, so we are getting some more snow. So just want to remind everybody, please, if you don't have to get out, do not get out. And, the authorities, we've already seen, where they are working a accident, but they are taking care of it, but they are asking everyone to stay off the road so that they don't have more accidents, and also so that it doesn't make the road where they're trying to get around if there was an emergency.
Yeah. Well, I think my husband went to the store a couple of days ago, and a lot of the shelves were bare, and I think that indicates that people planned ahead and got the staples that they need, and so hopefully they'll be able to hunker down and stay at home until this passes, and to your point, allow our county highway crews and our NDOT crews out on the roads and getting them safe for us to travel in the future.
Right, and we've got some big plans. When this weather breaks and we get some nicer weather, we've got some big plans for our community, as far as of course, and Lieutenant Governor, I can't wait for in the spring of next year, I believe we should be having our safe rooms, and we want you to come down and be a part of that. That's going to be a celebration for sure. But we've also got, our mayor was on the other day with Laura and I, and we've got some big announcements as far as some of the fixing the roads. Are 50, it'd be 56, and that would be 56 West out there. They're going to do kind of a widening of it, which is exciting. And so we were getting some new things done for our community, which is always a great thing.
Oh, absolutely. And Salem is really, one of those communities where there's such a collaborative, caring spirit there, and you all are able to get things done because you come together and you work as a community to make things happen. But, any ribbon cuttings or groundbreakings may have to wait 6 more weeks, according to the groundhog.
Yeah, he did. He did make us think that, or he did. Yeah, I know. That was kind of a, well, I think if we would have, maybe if we would have had it the day before, we might have had a different result.
That's right. That's right. And
Yeah.
it's all in fun. Who knows
Absolutely.
what the weather will bring?
Right, and I read the almanac, and again, the almanac's right on it. It's the Old Farmer's Almanac. It's a faithful and true, and that they are. It's crazy how things are a lot of times right on the money there. So we do that, and then of course the National Weather Service, they do a great job, and they keep us informed. So we try to keep everyone informed. But right now we're just we are in the middle of some ice, snow, and sleet. And of course, the snow is coming down right now. And it's a winter weather advisory. And our county has gone red. And so just keep reminding everybody about that.
Stay off the roads unless it's absolutely necessary.
Absolutely. Suzanne, thanks for coming in coming in. I wish you were here, but anyway, I know. So now, what do you do in the winter? Do you go sledding or do you build snowman? What do you do?
I stay in and I stay warm.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to. We've done some sledding, and we got more to do. And I'm on my radar. I hope to build a snowman at some point today.
Oh, fun. When the weather breaks a little bit, it warms up a little bit, then I'll go outside and do a little bonfire and sit outside.
Oh, those are the best, aren't they?
Yes, they are. There's something about fires and oceans it's very calming.
Absolutely.
It's kind of almost mesmerizing.
I agree. Oh, that sounds wonderful. And then if you have some hot dogs, I know you don't have potatoes, but if you have some hot dogs or marshmallows.
That's right. And take out a cup of coffee and you've got it made.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So those are the fun things. And honestly, staying home, we've learned for the couple years that we've had and everything, we've learned that staying home is a good thing. And there's great things to do at home. And right now with the weather, if you feel like it, do some sledding, just be careful. Watch out for falls too. We don't want anybody falling out there, but you can get out and enjoy it. And as far as our state, I know that we've had a lot of cases that have been severe, but we hope that that there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, and just keep on going. The Hoosiers, we are very resilient, and we're very strong.
That's right. And the best thing we can do is take care of ourselves and each other. And if that means staying at home, let's stay at home and let our highway crews do their work.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this was our year of renewal, kind of self-renewal and just take self-care. That's what Laura and we deemed that in January, we were going to try to do that. But as moms, I don't know that you can get much of that done,
No.
Well, you're always putting your children first.
Yeah, I think moms, we do that. Yeah, for sure. But anyway, it is a good day, and you could even do at home, for those that are at home, some suggestions. Do a spa day and enjoy yourself, and take it easy, and just like you said, stay in, stay warm, and some coffee or hot chocolate or and then later on maybe I like the idea of the little bit of a bonfire going out there and enjoying that. That would be fun, definitely.
Yeah, maybe a little too cold today, but when the weather breaks, that'll be top of my list.
I love that. Well, send us some photos, okay? We'd love to see that, okay?
Oh, I will. I will send you some photos.
Take some selfies, okay? We would love it. Well,
Yeah.
Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, we appreciate you calling in, and keep up the great work for our state and all that you do. And we appreciate your communication skills and communicating and keeping us in the know. And, if we can get it to our listeners, we appreciate that and all that you do. And thank you so much for calling in with us this morning.
You're welcome. And Becky and Laura, you stay safe and healthy, and don't get out if you don't have to.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you again. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Laura. So
Yes.
that was awesome. But so you actually are at work, right?
I am.
And kind of you probably are like on a very little crew, right?
We are. My husband's actually out picking people up to bring into work.
Right.
So Yeah, some of them, don't like to drive in it and different things. So, yeah, he's helping us out today, and we're just going to make the best of it.
Well, that's a
what
blessing.
we've decided.
Well, I do want to say that you are definitely an essential worker. Salem Crossing and Meadowview, everyone there is so valuable. But we pray for those that cannot get in, but those that can make it, because you have a lot to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got a lot of residents to help take care of. So
yeah.
Well,
I do have some school closings and some different delays. I just want to kind of go over that real quick, Laura.
Okay.
A list of school closing in the area. Of course, Clarksville Community Schools are doing e-learning. Perry Central Community Schools are closed. Greater Jasper Community Schools are remote learning. Jennings County Schools e-learning. Tell City Schools closed. IU Southeast remote learning. Purdue, New Albany closed. Scott County School District 2 remote learning. Lanesville Community School remote learning. Scott County Schools District 1 closed. Jefferson County, Hanover e-learning. Shoals Community Schools e-learning. Salem Community Schools remote learning. Medora Community Schools e-learning. Springs Valley Community Schools remote learning. Madison Consolidated Schools closed. Brownstown Central Community Schools closed. Seymour Community Schools e-learning. North Harrison Community Schools remote learning. Orleans Community Schools closed. New Albany, Floyd County Schools remote learning. Mitchell Community Schools closed. East Washington Community Schools e-learning. West Washington Community Schools remote learning. So kind of give everyone that. And want to remind everybody that, that we do have a lot of closings as far as also our businesses, and you can go to my Facebook page and see all the different businesses that are open or closed. And as we can see, that most of our businesses are closed today, and we're hearing from our authorities to stay off the road unless it's an emergency.
Absolutely, it's a little crazy out there.
So, did you have any trouble getting to work?
I didn't, because my husband brought me.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, and that is something, because you are an essential worker, and of course you, as I'm sure there were several that couldn't make it in, and it was kind of important for you to make it in and to be a part. And right now you are at the front desk, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Checking staff in.
Right. Well, and then as something that one thing that I guess was a blessing, or there's several blessings for sure, but something that we kept electricity, which was awesome. I did hear a few. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I was really worried about that, and I heard that there was several, a few people in different areas that had lost power, but thankfully we didn't.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that was that. Yeah, I'd heard that too, but I think they got it restored, so that was good. And of course, we talked with our Bruce Calloway from Duke Energy yesterday, and he kind of gave some suggestions of making sure that everyone stays safe, and of course make sure you have plenty of blankets and your food, and in case of an emergency, or make sure that you have some flashlights around, and those are good things to keep for sure.
Absolutely.
So as far as the Laura, as far as people actually coming to visit, are you asking people not to come visit today, or just suggesting them not to? If at all, how's the roads, the driveway there?
They are pretty snow and ice covered, honestly, at the moment. The roads leading to the nursing homes are still pretty covered from the highways, and then the parking lots are covered. We've got people out there working on them, but I would suggest to at least wait a little while, give them a chance once, now that daylight's here, to really get to work on them and clear them off a little better before you come in to visit. But we are, of course, still open to the community should they want to come in.
Right. But of course, if you, unless we sure want to just remind everybody, though, the authorities are asking, when they signed that in from our commissioners, it went red. They are asking you, please do not get out unless you have to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Today is the 4th day of February. Wow.
Woo.
February is
We're
definitely
getting close to Super Bowl and Valentine's Day.
I know. 10 days till Valentine's Day, 9 days to the Super Bowl. Very excited. Just giving those little reminders. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so today is Bubble Gum Day.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love bubble gum.
Me too.
The only thing is, if you get a big thing of bubble gum, make sure that everyone in your surrounding areas got it too, because everybody, somebody chomping on bubble gum.
Absolutely.
But I do love to blow a big bubble, Yeah.
Me too.
Give kids a smile day. Love that.
That's a good one.
And always give a child a smile. I love that.
Yeah. Brightens their day.
Absolutely. Brightens your day, too. Brightens my day, too.
Yes, ma'am.
National Creative Vacuum Day.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, National Homemade Soup Day. If you were going to make some homemade soup, Laura, what would you be making?
Ooh, probably cheesy potato.
Oh, have mercy.
Loaded cheesy potato with cornbread. That's probably my favorite.
Have mercy, yeah. Well, I was thinking some chili or maybe some chicken noodle soup or potato. You can't go wrong with potato soup either. Yeah, all of the above. Yeah.
Yeah, any is good. I'm not gonna be picky.
I wouldn't either. National Quacker Day, and it shows a bunch of ducks. The rubber duckies. You're the one. You make back.
Oh, how cute!
Yes. National Stuffed Mushroom Day. Yum.
Ooh, yum.
National Thank a Mailman Day. So thank a mail person today. Definitely.
Absolutely. In this weather, absolutely.
National Wear Red Day.
Ooh, yes, for heart awareness.
Uh-huh. Rosa Parks Day. I love that.
Oh, that's a good
one. World Cancer Day.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be wonderful for someone to say, "What's that?"
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be a blessing?
Absolutely.
I love there's a day like that. I really do. So let's see here. So some things that actually, some other things going on that this is just some food for thought. Why not? If you are up and if you're just kind of just sitting around, kind of waking up there. Some things that, let's see here. Okay. I was gonna say there's got 5 states with the worst pothole problems. Okay. Do you want to know about that? Do you want to know that?
Sure.
Okay. 5 states with the worst pothole problems. Let's see here. According to a report, Washington State has the worst potholes in America. Oh wow! Here we go. I knew we had to be up there. Indiana's next, followed by Michigan, Nebraska, and Ohio. But okay, I need to put a little bit of on a flip side. Wyoming rates are the most pothole-free states. Nevada is the second best, followed by Arkansas and Utah and Arizona. But hang on, I gotta put a disclaimer here because we know our weather changes all the time. We go hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, and what does that do?
It destroys the roads.
It does, and it makes those little potholes. So that's okay.
Yes.
That's all right. That's right. And we know it. You know what I mean? We know that. So,
Absolutely.
And our authorities, city, county, and state, they do a great job, and they do. If you report one of them, they do take care of it. So.
Absolutely, they do. They do a great job.
They do. Okay. Okay. These are different phrases that make you sound unprofessional. Okay.
Okay. Oh, lands. I wonder how many of them I say.
Oh, well, this is completely my vocabulary. Okay, I'm going to work on this, okay? Number 1, does that make sense? Okay, to ask, does that make sense? What to say instead? What are your thoughts?
Okay.
Okay. Number 2, maybe we should try. Instead say, let's try.
Okay.
I feel like saying maybe we should try is like soft. I feel like that maybe might soften the blow a little.
Well, yeah, it gives them a chance to.
Like maybe. I don't think that. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Laura, this is wah-wah. We're gonna give this a thumbs down. Okay. Number 3, I'm not positive, but. Okay, instead, we should say, I'm not sure, but. Okay. All right.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Number 4, sorry to bother you. So instead, we should say, excuse me.
Oh.
But if you say, excuse me, and if you say it like with a, like, for some reason, if your tone, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be took.
Like, excuse me. I mean, that can be like really like how your tone is. That could be taken the wrong way, right?
Absolutely, I think so. Anyways.
Yeah. So I think to soften the blow. Sorry to bother you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Another number 5. Needless to say, these are things that make you sound unprofessional. Needless to say, okay. In my opinion, for what it's worth, and if you know what I mean, and what to say instead. It's all unnecessary. These are just fillers that people say, like when they say that. But hang on. Remember, I went through a phase where I couldn't stop saying, you know what I mean. Remember that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Autumn Hall
Yes.
called me out on that one. Yeah. She said, she got me on that one. So, yeah, definitely. So, anyway, those are fillers for sure because you're thinking about what you're going to say next, right?
Absolutely.
So. All right. Well, Laura, we appreciate you calling in and good to talk to you. And I guess as far as everything else going to Salem Crossing or Meadowview, if anyone has any concerns or would like to find out how their loved one's doing, maybe they can't get out, give us some information on how to do that.
Absolutely. You can call the facility. Salem Crossing's main number is 812-883-1877 and just ask for the hall that your loved one is on, and the nurses will gladly tell you how they're doing. You can also ask for Nicole, and she can help set up a FaceTime or a Skype. They're big doing those. Still, if since the weather is a little crazy, so we can gladly do that. And then if you have a loved one at Meadowview, you can call 812-883-4681 and you'll get me, and I will direct you to the nurse for your loved one, and we can also help set up a FaceTime or a Skype.
Right.
So just call either facility and we'll be glad to help you get to speak to your loved one and find out how they're doing, and we can do all of that.
And that's so important, right?
Absolutely. It can brighten anyone's day just to get to hear their loved one's voice, and family and resident. It just eases their mind and lets them know, hey, they're okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay home and stay safe. They're okay, they're happy, they're content, they're being took care of. It's just a great feeling. So we encourage it. Call anytime. We will gladly help facilitate you getting to speak to your loved one.
Absolutely. And remind everyone, yes, and that's probably the way to go right now. And what a blessing we have that way to communicate and make sure that your loved one knows you're safe, but also staying home and staying safe is so important. And I do want to again go back over. We are actually still we are red, and we were signed in, and the authority said that until further notice, we will continue being red. So the roads are to please stay off the roads. They're not wanting anyone out unless it's an emergency. And of course, we have seen some accidents this morning. So I want to remind everybody that if you don't have to get out, do not. And as far as I've had a lot of people call me and a lot of people actually message about your employer, you need to check with your place of business or your employer, their policy, and explain to them. Maybe I think majority of them know that it is red, but that's a discussion between you and them.
Absolutely.
So, some of the things that I do, some of the places we're getting some people that are actually telling us that are closed. The YMCA is currently closed due to travel advisory. Hand and Company Picture Frame is closed today. Billy Martin's, of course, down there is closed. Thank you, Janice. H&R Block, Angie Bowling says closed today. First Savings Bank is opening at 10 a.m. today. John Jones Auto Group is going to open at 9 as of right now. Past and Present is closed today. And Bud's Jewelers closed today. All In Pediatrics Salem office will be closed today. Raquel's restaurant is closed today. They'll reopen tomorrow, Saturday. Mariah Hubbard Smokies Tobacco Outlet is opening at 10 a.m. And Casey's is open right now. Kimball's of Salem is closed for the first and second shifts. CVS of Salem and Scottsburg is open from 8 to 8. Blue River Farm Supply is open from 8 to 5. And Mountain Motors is closed today. So we'll keep you posted on all the closings or, anything that going on, in our listing area as far as closing. But I do want to say on the way here, and the roads are very slick and there's a lot of snow. So we do encourage everyone, please be careful out there, but don't get out unless you have to. And also, remember that most of the stores, most of the restaurants, a lot of the places are closed today. So really there's nothing to see and there's really nothing to do at this point. So, stay home, have some fun. I love snow days at home.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Laura, we'll get off here. Okay. And, all right. And thank you for coming or calling in this morning. I want to thank our Walmart, Mike King. They do have a skeleton crew over there, and he wanted everybody to know they're not opening because of money, because of they are doing it just for if there is essential or if there is an emergency. But they know that they want their customers. They care about their customers, and they want their customers and their associates to stay safe. So if you are an associate, you need to call them and talk to them about anything going on. But they are asking people, to stay off the roads. But they're doing I called it a soft opening where they're just open for like emergencies or if someone has something. But just to come in and walk around, please no, on that, because we want to respect when our commissioners say that. We also have Meadowview Healthcare Center, wonderful sponsors, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Upland, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, and Fox Poli Wealth Management. Laura, thanks for hanging out with me. Have a terrific and a wonderful Friday. Stay safe, okay?
You too. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you too. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Ready, set, fight. Make a run for Walmart as we get set for the big game and Valentine's Day.
As we wait for the final teams to be set for Super Bowl, Walmart has all your needs for a successful party. And don't forget to tune in to listen to the big game on WSLM 97.9 FM.
We've got deli trays with meat, chicken, buffalo wings, salads, and even prepared platters with sausage, crackers, and cheese, plus cupcakes, cookies, and ice cream, and whatever else you need to make a super night in front of the TV.
And if you need a new TV, go see the experts in the electronics department and pick out a new 65-inch or a bigger LED 4K TV so you can see all the details of the big game.
And don't forget, on February 14th, it's Valentine's Day. You'll find a huge variety of flowers, Valentine's candy, and lots of other gifts for the one you love.
And you've got candles, jewelry, sparkling grape juice for all those romantic getaways.
For every holiday this year, you'll find everything you need at Walmart. And remember, Becky, spring is just around the corner.
Brad, I'm going to need a bigger card.
Jurassic Quest is back and bigger than ever. See over 100 life-size animatronic dinosaurs, Apatosaurus, Spinosaurus, the T-Rex, and a 50-foot-long Megalodon. Interact with walking dinosaurs and baby dinos, dinosaur rides, giant fossil pigs, airbrush animal tattoos, inflatables, craft stations, and more. Don't miss the largest and most popular dinosaur event on tour.